y'all, if you're new around here, my name is Katie Marie, and if you're not new around here, hello and welcome back. I feel like I haven't posted a video in so long, and honestly, my life is still pretty busy and crazy. However, I do need to get ready to go to a family event tonight, and I was not able to put together a video for the new Nomad Ghost Town USA palette, so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do an unedited Get Ready With Me where I use this palette on my eyes. I'm not planning to edit this video at all, so it might be a little bit on the long side because I feel like generally when I'm talking it takes like 20 to 30 minutes, usually 30 minutes to do my eyes, but I'm gonna try to go fast. But life has been so crazy. I'm sure I'll get into it in the video, but I won't have time to edit this at night for who knows how long. So to try and get this up in a timely manner, either today, Saturday, or tomorrow at the latest, I'm just gonna do an uncut version and we'll see how this goes. If you guys don't like it, please let me know. If you do like it, please let me know, because if I am able to swing where I can just sit down, turn the camera on, and chat with you guys and do minimal to no edits, then maybe I can get back on YouTube, because oh my gosh, I've been going to bed at like midnight just doing my like necessities every day, so I can't stay up any later to edit these days. And nap time, I'm taking 30 minutes here and I feel like I still don't have time. So anyway, let's give this a try. As I said, the new Nomad Cosmetics is the Ghost Town palette. It has this little, like, I think you can see it, picturesque. It goes from like a normal, there it goes, a normal like old town, you know, country town, and then it goes to a ghost town. And the Ghost Town USA, really cool packaging, very well made. You guys know I'm not super into scary, so I'm not the biggest fan of this, and this is definitely a palette that's not going to be laid out for my kids to find, because one of my kids really doesn't like scary things. But anyway, we're going to be talking about the inside today, which is really pretty. Definitely I feel like a color story I've seen from Nomad Cosmetics. However, it's beautiful in here, so if you've never tried Nomad Cosmetics or don't have any of their palettes that have these vibes, the grays and even the cool tone greens, that'd be really pretty. I did a look, I think, with the grays or the browns, I can't even remember. I was trying to work on a 3 looks 1 palette. So anyway, I'll put that video or that little tutorial on Instagram and maybe on my YouTube shorts in a couple days if I can. But today I really want to play with the greens. Yeah, I think I want to play with the greens. This is a shirt I'm probably going to wear, so I'm going to play with these greens. Maybe I'll do black and then the greens in the outer corners. So that's what I'm planning to do. Let's do it. I'm going to have to focus as I talk, or like without cutting it, because I usually always cut that part out, but we're just gonna jump in. Let's do Dead Man's Hand, this one right here, and I'm just going to pack this on the outer corner. I already did my primer, obviously I already did my face and lips, but I did eyeshadow primer and I just used the Ace Beauté one that I don't even think they sell anymore. But I'm gonna pack on this black. It's a nice like smoky black, kind of a blue toned leaning black, but it's a very nice black. I think it's got a nice amount of depth in it. You can definitely get a nice amount of depth with this palette in general. There's just so many dark shades. I think I'm also gonna take Arrested Decay, which is the dark brown, and put it on top just to help with the green and kind of mesh and blend it all together. I feel like it'll help the green pop instead of the black. I don't know. We're just gonna put them both together because I didn't want too much of the blue to pop out and stand out from that dark black. But I am tapping off, trying to tap off pretty good, just because this is a black. These are dark shades, grungy shades, and I already got my face done. So these two went on really nicely, and I think you guys could tell from where I used the first shade and then the second shade on top, they layer really nicely too. Per usual, I'm very happy with the quality. I've only, you know, worn this once before, but very happy with the quality of their mattes. They always do a good job, Nomad does. After that, I'm gonna jump into Stagecoach Mary. Let's see how dark that is. The shimmers in here, I only wore 2 shimmers. Again, I only did that one look, so I don't have a ton of experience with the shimmers, but they definitely don't hold up to Florida heat, because I used an eyeshadow, like a glitter primer, and like I primed my eyes and then I used a glitter primer on top of that, and it still did not hold up. And I mean, when I say Florida summers, it's like 100 degrees outside, or at least feels 100 degrees for the last couple weeks, so it's really hot outside, and I'm usually out several times throughout the day taking care of the animals, but definitely out at least once or twice in like the worst part of the day just to make sure all the animals are doing okay. So I just step outside my front door and I start sweating. And I have a dog who has to go out and go potty and then, you know, throw the ball and stuff like that. So I'm frequently sweating, and I noticed that their shimmers kind of formed a line, probably from the sweat, so keep that in mind. But it kind of formed a line kind of right in here where it was just like dissipating out, and there was this line where the shimmers like disappeared to, and like where my brow, I think, touches my eyelid, touches my brow the most. Didn't look the best, but again, it's in the Florida heat, and that's the only time I wore it, so I can't really say as far as like a normal day where I'm not sweating my butt off if it would, you know, perform nicer. But that's just something to keep in mind as far as the quality, or like the quality, not the quality, but like the wear time. I'm gonna go into this shade, the lightest green, called Ghost Town. But yeah, this summer has been so hot. And maybe I only notice it or say it's so hot because last summer we didn't have all these animals. We had chickens, but only like 5 of them or something. It wasn't a whole lot. And this summer, along with chickens, we have rabbits and or a rabbit and what do you call, pigs. And the pigs mama just had a litter, so it's a lot to kind of keep tabs on and make sure everyone's doing okay. And we have a lot more chickens now. I don't even know the full number. What do we have, like 25 or 30? And then we have roosters who just live in the pasture. They free range just to help with the bug population, but still got to make sure they get food and water, have food and water access to them. But they are probably the easiest because they just go up in the trees during the heat of the day to stay nice and cool, or they stay near the base of the trees to dust bathe and cool off. But anyway, so I've been doing a lot of outside. I'm getting so dark, I desperately need to buy another face product because I am using this to darken my tinted face products and foundations and whatnot, but it's not cutting it. I need to go and get something darker because I feel like my face, even though I used it to try to get a little bit darker, it's still a whole lot lighter than the rest of my body because I have quite the tan going on this year for sure. But yeah, that's really pretty. Like, look how beautifully that blended out. I usually always focus my camera like several times when I'm filming because I'm always petrified that I'm going to be out of focus, and then I edit and sometimes I am out of focus and then I kick myself for not doing it more. So I apologize that I'm going to be leaving that in. But again, I have been going to bed so late, and just between the kids, school's back up. I homeschool the 2 oldest, and then the animals, I just don't have time. Don't have time right now to edit. Usually by the time I finish putting the house to bed and getting things settled, I am exhausted and I'm just not, I can't stay up any later. I'm gonna go back into that darker, I guess the darkest green, because the other shade is brown. But yeah, so I just have not had time to edit, so I'm going to try this just to get a video up. I was really looking forward to getting to play with this and get a proper review up, but it's just not going to happen because this past week turned out a lot differently than I anticipated. Yeah, we had piglets on the 5th of August, which was my birthday. I walked out surprised with piglets. We didn't have a date for when she was due, but I thought for sure we had another month. I didn't think she would have them till September because she wasn't overly large, but Betty only had 4 piglets, so I think that's why she wasn't like looking huge, because sometimes like she came from a litter of 11, so they can have a lot. But anyway, she surprised us with piglets, so a lot of the things that we were like, oh yeah, we got to do that soon, we had to do that now. And so it's just been a little chaotic trying to get everything set up. And for pigs and piglets, we had to separate our pigs because we had our male and female living together before this, but now that they got babies, it's just a little bit safer to keep the male in his own place. And so now we're looking for a companion to live with him, because when we got pigs, we were like, oh, we'll keep them together, and then whenever they have babies, we'll just take the males and let them live with him, and take the females and let them live with her, and they'll all have company. They'll all have someone to live with, because pigs are very social. They like to live with someone. Even if you're out there a lot, they still want to be with someone. So we want to make sure they have a companion. And her litter was all girls. We had 4 girls, not a single male in it. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. I thought there was no way we would get only, you know, all females in it, but we did. So now we're on the hunt for another, well, not on the hunt, we are going to be getting, we found another female that we're going to bring in to be with him to live with him for 4 months until she's pregnant, and then we can swap Betty and him out, and hopefully with her pregnancy we'll get some males. But yeah, it's just been a little bit crazy doing all that. And then our chickens, like I said, we have like 25 or something, and we have different coops that have like their own, we call it chicken tractor, because basically it's like a movable little chicken yard with a house attached that we can move around our property so that they get that free range aspect, but we don't have to worry about predators. We don't have to worry about poop on our front porch, because that was the thing I didn't love about free ranging our chickens, because we used to free range them in the back last year. But oh my goodness, they had the entire backyard, which is a very big yard. We have a very big backyard and the entire yard to free range in, and they would come and poop on the steps going into the backyard. And I just was like, nope, this is not for me. So we did chicken tractors because it's a way they can free range without pooping all over my steps. So anyway, we had to get another one because we had younger ones growing up that needed their own space and just more room to kind of move around and keep them separated and keeping everybody happy, because we had 2 roosters. So I wanted to have 2 different coops to make sure we didn't have too many roosters and getting in squabbles and whatnot. So anyway, I'm going to take a pause in my ramblings of life updates to take a sip of coffee, and then we're going to do the shimmers. I have no idea what I'm going to do for shimmer. I think I used Ghost Train when I did my eye look before. It's definitely got some stuff like removed off of it, so I'm pretty sure that was a shade that kind of was doing that funky stuff up in the crease. I want to go into Calico California, that shade right there. It's just so pretty. I feel like it's very similar to the other shade there, but I'm gonna go with the brighter one. And then I'll probably use, should we do silver on the inner half? There's Quicksilver in there, or we can use Smoky Quartz. There's, oh my gosh, there's nothing left. Oh, okay, there's almost nothing left in here. This is the NYX glitter primer. The event I'm going to is a cousin, or not cousin, my kids' cousins, a niece and nephew of mine, their birthday party. So it's going to be outside. So I need all the help I can get with getting this to stay well. If I do upload this video tomorrow, which I likely will because I'm running late, and I'm running late finishing getting ready. Sophia is talking in her crib, so I don't think I'll have the time to export this footage and upload it, because I mean, even if I do the bare minimum of just exporting it, like cropping the intro or the beginning and ending, I still need to do a thumbnail and tags and stuff. So I'll probably do that tonight after we get home. So this will probably go up on Sunday. So if that's the case, I'll try to remember to put a note, like pin a comment and let you guys know how the shimmers did, even though I have a feeling I already know. So I'm going to go into that, and then Smoky Quartz and Quicksilver. Those are the 2 I'm going back and forth, but we'll do this one first and see what I feel like. Their shimmers are super soft, like just touching it with a brush, it's like moving around. Let me touch it with a finger. Kind of feels like that squishy, what do you call it? Color Pop. Oh my gosh, Super Shock. Blanking on the words. Yeah, it doesn't really feel like that squishy type of Super Shock, which I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan. Maybe that's why it didn't stay as well. I can't remember if it had that same formula when I did the other day, but I feel like that formula tends to be more prone to creasing because it's almost like a, it's almost a creamy product. So if you have oily eyelids, or if you sweat your butt off like me whenever I do my makeup, I feel like that tends to lead to creasing. Could also just be the incredibly sparkly, shimmery type of eyeshadows too. Those 2 I feel like can just crease more just because there's so much sparkling and stuff happening. I feel like it just doesn't adhere to the eye quite the same as just a simple shimmer or even a metallic. So that's what it looks like with the brush. I'm just going to tap this over to amp it up, and because I have it on my finger, might as well. And yeah, I think I'm going to definitely, let's see, I think I'm going to, my phone just buzzed, sorry. I think I'm going to do the silver on the inner half, because then it'll be like, even though now that I'm looking at it, like I used those, the greens, I swear I dipped into the greens. Yeah, I didn't dip into the grays, but blending it out, it looks more grayish in the crease, doesn't it? Those shades, those green shades, mattes in this palette are definitely super cool tone. So matching it with that black, I think just brought out the cool tone. So maybe that's why they put that brown right next to it, so that if you want the greens to really stand out, you really need to just use the brown to help it pop out more. I don't know. I'll definitely have to play around. This palette is nice for a neutral. Like, it's an interesting neutral palette for me. Kind of think for me, you remember like the Naked palette? I could never with the Naked palette because it's just too boring. But in the same vein that like people like the Urban Decay Naked palette because it's just a classic good neutral palette, that's kind of like what this palette is for me. This is a fun and interesting neutral palette for sure because it's nothing colorful, obviously, but it still has different shades, different hues that you can mix and match with the green, the cool tone, you know, blacks and grays, and then the more, even the browns are cool tone and whatnot. And then the lid color, you got purple in there, you got silver, you got lots of fun things. Let me put my finger to Smoky Quartz just because it looks a little purple leaning. Yeah, it's kind of like a purple silver. I want silver, so I'm gonna go into Quicksilver. And now I need something to clean this off. So let me clean this off and check on the baby. She does not look like she is laying back down. Anyway, let's see if I can finish this up before she gets super mad. Anyway, where was I? It's really weird knowing that I'm not going to edit anything out. I feel like I have to be constantly talking. But yeah, life's just been a little chaotic. And I mean, very first world problems here. Part of me is like, I can fill you in and give you an update, but another part of me is like, you guys, it's probably super boring because it's only busy, chaotic, and exhausting because it's, you know, it's my life. I know all the ins and outs and everything going on, but other, you know, for other people, it's not going to be that interesting. But I feel like animals are always fun to hear about and to talk about, so that's why I gave you a little update on there. The baby pigs are the cutest things. Oh my goodness. I didn't expect this, but like baby pigs, maybe pigs in general, but pigs are so big you don't lift up adults, but baby pigs, because they're small enough, if you lift them off the ground, they squeal like you are like murdering them. They squeal so much when you pick them off the ground, and we've been, you know, trying to work with them. They're 2 weeks old, 3 weeks old at this point, and we go out there every day and pet them and pick them up really quick and whatnot. So it's at the point where they won't squeal as loudly, and especially once you kind of pick them up and put them close to your chest, they'll settle down and be like super docile. But it took a little bit of, you know, getting them used to it and socializing for them to want to tolerate it. And my poor kids, all they want to do is hold them, but they don't love the squealing. So when I give them to my 3-year-old, he's almost 4, but 3-year-old, he wants to hold them, but then they squeal and he's like, it's too loud, he doesn't want it. So it's like a back and forth of like, yes, I want to hold him, and then he growls and he's like, ah, never mind. But they are so cute. Oh, so cute. So our daddy pig, Bullet, named by my son, is he was a gold and black when he was born, but like when he was a baby, but the older he gets, his gold is turning more of like a silver. It's really interesting watching him grow up. He's not even a year at this point, but then the mama is mostly black with a couple white patches. So the babies, we have 4 of them. One of them looks like Bullet did when he was a baby and is gold and black, and then the other 3 are black with little specks of white, so they're more like their mama. And some of them have more spots. One of them's almost all black like the mama, and then the other 2 have more of the, some has white, you know, spots, but one of them, who is my favorite, has like her spots are white, but around the edges of it is like a little bit of gold. It's so pretty. If you have not followed me on my other Instagram account for like homesteading, I will try to remember to link it down below. I think it's just I'm a makeup homesteader, but that's where I'm trying to put animal content. So if you like this type of thing, I'm not gonna be putting any pictures of them in here, and I've been needing to do like a couple pictures and reels with the babies because they're so adorable. But if you want to see some of that, that'll be over there, and I definitely update my stories more frequently than I post reels and pictures. But anyway, that is those 2 combined on my lid. I really like how it's turning out. It's very pretty, very easy to apply. I feel like they were really easy to mesh together. The silver is also that kind of squishy, yeah, it definitely feels super shocky, but not as firm. Like it's super, let me see if I can even show you. It's not flaky, but it's almost wet. I mean, maybe a little flaky, but it just moves around like those Super Shock formulas did. And I say that though, but I haven't touched a Super Shock shadow in like probably 7 years. So if they've reformulated, maybe that's not the best comparison, but the OG Super Shocks, that's what it reminds me of. Okay, so at this point, let me go ahead. I want to amp up a little bit with this green, so I'm going to get the lightest, oops, sorry, the lightest green. Or not, yeah, I'm gonna go with the light green. I don't know, I just wanna amp it up a little bit under here. And I think we're gonna, oh yeah, I need to do an inner corner, and I think we'll be about done. I feel like if you are a fan of Nomad and you just wanna know, like, is this formula still as good as, you know, Nomad's formula typically is? I think it's as I would expect with the mattes. The shimmers are giving me a little bit of pause just because I'm like, I feel like I don't remember their shimmers being usually that squishy to the point of me thinking of Super Shock. I know they have, you know, tons of different formulas, Nomad does, that they put in there, but I feel like the intense, actually, should I do, I'm gonna do black, sorry. I'm indecisive. The intense squishiness, I don't feel like I remember as much in their previous palettes, so maybe that's something new. I do know that this is going to be $49. This palette is going to retail for, and it's not limited edition, which I guess I should triple check that because I read that and I was like, oh, that's cool that they're doing a special palette like a Halloween release, but not making it limited edition. And I'll double check that in just a second, but that's what I read when I was nursing Sophia to sleep. So I think it's going to be permanent, and then it usually launches a couple days after this, so maybe on a Tuesday, Wednesday. Yeah, that's about all the details. I don't know why I decided to do wing liner. I told myself, like, hey, I'm not going to do wing liner or mascara on camera because of this reason. It takes so long. But I just feel like this look is going to be complete. Like, wouldn't look complete on me without a wing. A little wing. We're not going to go crazy with this. Just a little wing. But let's just do it really quick while I finish up my thoughts. I feel like the mattes are great. I didn't notice anything different with the way I blended out their mattes. I used a colored base and the glitter primer for the shimmers. Obviously, I don't think that the glitter primer helped at all, but I don't think their shimmers can hold up to Florida heat or any type of heat, and especially not just heat, but like, or not just like oily eyelids, but like sweat, just because of the texture they are. I don't know if like you have really oily eyelids. I have a feeling they're not gonna last like you would want them to, so just something to keep in mind. But with me saying that, I have no way of like backing that up because I haven't tried it. I feel like my eyelids, I don't even know. I don't think I have very oily skin anymore. I think my skin's pretty normal at this spot in my life. However, I am sweating multiple times a day. So I'm always like, I always feel sweaty, but it's from legit sweat, not just from oil on my face and whatnot. And I haven't noticed being excessively, oh, this wing is going to be horrendous. Hang on, let me see if I can save it. We're just gonna go really thick and act like we meant it. And it's only doing this because I said I'm not gonna make any edits. I might put, we gotta do something about this because one's like peewee over here and the other one's gigantic. I might put some music in the background. Again, I don't know about time, but I feel like a little bit of quiet music in the background might help. Might help it not be so weird and weird to like watch and listen to as I'm doing these more concentrating parts with me not talking as much. Okay, not great, but that's what we're gonna go with. I'm gonna put a little bit of black in my waterline, and I really should refocus my camera. So let's make sure. I feel so weird looking at the viewfinder so much because I know most of this is gonna stay in there. Sophia. She is sitting up, refusing to nap, and it's just because she knows we're going to a party that she's like, who needs rest? I don't need rest. I will stay up, and that way I'm incredibly fussy at the party. So that'll be fun. But I'm just putting a little bit of black in here, and I think we're gonna pretty much be done. I'm not going to be putting a close-up, obviously, because, again, I'm not editing this video, but I will put close-ups on my Instagram. So if you're not following me on LadyKatie92, my makeup Instagram page, my main one for this channel, follow me over on LadyKatie92, and I will try to post it close-ish to when I post this, so maybe Sunday afternoon or evening, but I'll definitely try to get it up fast just because I feel like that's the most helpful to see the close-up. So if I'm not including it in the video, then I really want to try to include it. Oh, dag nabbit. I just, oh my goodness, I'm just having the time of my life over here. I'm rushing because I know Sophia's awake, and I just blended this before it was dry, so I got a little smear there from my liner, but that's okay. You can still see the quality of the eyeshadow even if my liner's a mess. Okay, let's do the inner corner and then we're gonna be done with this video, and I'm going to do my mascara off camera because I just can't do my mascara on camera, and no, I'm not gonna cut it out, so I'm just gonna do it off camera. We're gonna go into smoky quartz. That's what we're gonna do for the inner corner. I feel like that'll be pretty. This is my indecisiveness because I'm like, oh no, you know what? We're gonna do it. Gold Rush. Usually I would cut that out and just be like, no, you won't even know that I've sit here and changed my mind 5 million times, but now you know how many times I can change my mind. But anyway, I think this will be pretty because it's like a little bit of green pop from like green, silver, and then a little bit more green, and we can see the difference between the two greens because I feel like there isn't much of a difference. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this second one that we're putting here is just a touch brighter, but if you were to use them both in the same eye look and like fade them together, you would think it was just one color because they're super, super close. I do wish this one was more of like a, I guess they already have it, like a green gold. I guess they have it in Tombstone, but it just seems kind of one or the other type of attitude between these two. I mean, they're different, but I wouldn't use them together because I feel like they'll just mesh together, unless you want that type of look where the two mesh together. But anyway, this is going to be the end of my video. Yeah, what do I think about this palette overall? Let me focus my camera again. Oh, it's going so out of focus. I'm so sorry. Overall, I think this is a nice palette quality-wise when it comes to the mattes. I do feel like a lot of them, let me touch some of them, are going to be a different formula for, yeah, that feels the same. I feel like a lot of them are that super shocky type of formula. I am not an expert when it comes to formulations of eyeshadows and whatnot. They don't feel dry, they don't feel flaky, they don't feel like top coat, or like top coat. They don't feel like those topper flaky type of sparkly shadows. They feel like very smooth, very creamy type of shadows that are, again, kind of that Super Shock formula where they have a little bit of, you can move them around, jelly-ish type of formula. So definitely, I think a bit of a new formula, at least in my memory, when it comes to Nomad. So maybe that's why I didn't get the best wear time when it came to the shimmers. We'll see how these last tonight because this is what I'm wearing tonight to the pool party. But not my favorite formula for the shimmers. But the mattes are beautiful, and if you don't have any of the other palettes and you like this type of, you know, the color story, I think it's pretty, and if you, especially if you like spooky. For me, if I hadn't been sent this, I think I would have really appreciated this color story as just a really great neutral palette, but I probably would have passed on it because I'm not a spooky type of individual, so I wouldn't have like wanted to have this in my collection to display or anything. And like I said, I feel like I've seen this color story with them before. I'm trying to think, a little bit like we just saw in the Safari, except the Safari has more of a pop of color, but it still has those tones of like the brown, the green, and a little bit of that black too. But there's just such a heavy emphasis on cool tone with the new one. So it just depends on what you like. I like warm tones though. Well, I'll be editing a little bit because my camera just stopped recording. But anyway, they both serve the purpose of giving me a very neutral type of eye look, very natural for me, or neutral, whatever the word is you want to use, my type of neutral look. But I feel like the Nomad is got a little bit of warmth and it doesn't have the spooky factor, so I feel like I would prefer this one. But overall, I hope this first impressions type of video was helpful for you guys. And like I said in the beginning, let me know what you think about this uncut edited version. I guess since my camera turned off, that means I was recording for half an hour, so this might be a really long video and it might be boring, so I'm not sure. But like I said, I really wanted to get to play with this palette and share with you guys the new palette and a look that I did with it. The Nomad was kind enough to send it to me, so here is my attempt. As terrible it is, this is my attempt to get a video out and share with you guys about the new Ghost Town USA palette. I will put the information, if I can remember, I will try my best to put the launch date, and I do have a code if you want to use it. It's Lady Katie. At checkout you can use it on Nomad Cosmetics. I'm pretty sure it applies to new palettes, but if you want to use it, it is an affiliate code, so no pressure at all. But with that said, that is going to do it for me. Yeah, I'm going to go and take care of my little one, and I will talk to you guys in my next video. No idea when that will be, but in my next video. See you guys then. Bye.